Okay, now we can create the recycler view. For the recycler view, we need some contact images, contact names and email address. So here I have some photos. I copy all these photos. Now open Android Studio and put it inside the drawable folder. Okay, now we have some images available on the drawable folder. Now we need to add some contact names and email address. So open values folder, open strings.xml file. So here I am going to add some string arrays. So I copy this string array and paste it here. So this string array contains some contact names with identifier name. Now we need to add another string array for the email address. So I copy this one and paste it here. Okay, so now here we have two string arrays, name and email. Now close this one. Now we need to add a recycler view to the activity main.xml. So go to the activity main.xml file. Here I am going to add a recycler view. Specify the width as match parent, height as wrap content. Now specify an ID for the recycler view. I name it as recycler view. Okay, now put some margin at the top. So Android layout margin top into 15 dp. Okay, now we have a recycler view available on the activity main.xml file. Now we have to create some Java classes. So right click the package and create a new Java class with class name contact. Now create some variables inside this class. Int img id. Now create some string variables, string name and email. Now we need to add some getter and setter methods for these variables. So select getters and setters and select all these variables. Now for initializing these variables, we need a constructor for this class. So create a constructor, public contact, and add some arguments for this constructor. First one is img id, second one is a string name, and third one is also a string email. Now from this constructor we need to call the setter methods. So this dot set img id and pass the img id. Now set name, this dot set name and pass the name, and the last one is this dot set email and pass the email. Okay, now we need to create a separate layout file for each row of the recycler view. So here the each row is represented using a card view, and the card view contain an image view and two text views. So we need to create a separate layout file for each row of the recycler view. So right click the layout folder and create a new layout resource file and specify file name card view layout and click OK. Okay, here we need to add a card view, an image view and two text views. So go to the XML file. Okay, here I add a card view with ID card view, and here is a relative layout, and the relative layout contain an image view with ID img ID, and here is the text view that display the person name with ID name, and here is the another text view that display the email address with ID email, and here is a checkbox for each row with ID checklist item, and here you can see the preview. Here is the design. So this layout will represent each row of the recycler view. Okay, close this one. No need of toolbar. Close that one and close this class. Okay, so now go to the main activity.java file. First create some variables for recycler view. I name it as recycler view. Now create some variables for layout manager for recycler view. I name it as layout manager. Now create the adapter for the recycler view. I name it as adapter. Now we need to initialize these variables. So initialize the recycler view. First typecast that one into recycler view. Now find it. Now initialize the layout manager variable equal to new linear layout manager and pass the activity context. Now set some parameter for the recycler view. Dot set layout manager and pass the layout manager. Now recycler view dot set has fixed size into true. This will improve the performance of the recycler view. Now we need to create a Java class for the adapter of a recycler view. So now create a new Java class for the adapter. Specify the class name as contact adapter. Now this class extends adapter. Implement the needed methods. Here you need to implement 3 methods. Click OK. So first here I am going to create the view holder class for the recycler view. So public static class contact view holder, and that extends view holder. And for this class we need some constructor. Add the needed constructor. So it create a constructor with 1 argument. Here we need some additional argument. Here we create some variables for main activity, that is the second argument we need this variable for handle the click events of the checkboxes. Okay, so now we need to create some variables here. We need to declare some variables here. First one is a variable for image view. I name it as img. And now we need to create some variables for text views. And text view name, email. And now we need to create some variables for a checkbox. There is a checkbox is also available on the card view. Now we need to create some variables for main activity. Now we need to initialize these variables from the constructor. So first one is img. It is an image view. So cast it into image view. Now use this argument item view dot find the view by id r dot id dot img id. Now the second variable name, it is a text view. Now find it, find the view by id r dot id dot name. Now the third variable email, typecast that one into text view and use this variable item view dot find the view by id r dot id dot email. Now we need to initialize the checkbox. Typecast that one into checkbox. Now item view dot find the view by id r dot id dot checklist item. Now we need to initialize the main activity variable. So this dot main activity equal to main activity. Okay, so now we need to put some generic for this class. It is an object of the contact view holder. Now for this method, the return type is an object of contact view holder. So you need to change this one into contact view holder. And for this method, the first argument is an object of contact view holder. Okay, so now we need to create some variables here. First we need an array list that handle object of contact class. I name it as adapter list equal to new array list. Now we need some variables for main activity. I name it as main activity. Now we need some variables for context. I name it as ctx. Now for initializing these variables, we need some constructor for this class. So public contact adapter with some arguments. First one is an array list that handle object of contact class. I name it as adapter list. Now we need some context variables. I name it as ctx. And now we can initialize these variables. First one, we can initialize the array list. This dot adapter list equal to adapter list. Now initialize the context variables. This dot ctx equal to ctx. Finally, we can initialize the main activity variable. So main activity equal to ctx. Okay, now we need to typecast this one into main activity. So now from the get item count, we can return the size of the array list. So return adapter list dot size. Okay, now go to the onCreate view holder class, create some variable for view. I name it as view equal to layout inflator dot from parent dot get context dot inflate r dot sorry for that, my keyboard has some problems. Inflate r dot layout dot card view layout. Now parent, and last one is a boolean false. Okay, now we need to create some variables for we need to create an object of the contact view holder class. So create an object of contact view holder. I name it as contact view holder equal to new contact view holder. First pass the view argument. Second one, we need an object of main activity. And finally, return the object of contact view holder. Now we need to set the image name and email from the onBind view holder method. We need to set the data for the image view and text views. So first we need to set the image. So holder dot img dot set image resource, adapter list dot get each object from the adapter list position. Now call the getter method from the contact class. Here it is get img id. Now the second variable holder dot name dot set text, adapter list dot get position, and here it is get name. Now holder dot email dot set text, adapter list dot get, and use the position. Now get email. That's it. Okay, now we almost finished the coding for the adapter. Okay, and now go to main activity.java. So here we need to declare some variables. Here we need to declare some arrays. First one, we need an integer array. Okay, I copy this integer array and put it here. It is not copied. Copy it and put it here. Okay, now create some string arrays. String name and email. Okay, also we need an array list. So declare an array list that handle object of contact class. I name it as contacts equal to new array list. Now we can initialize these variables. First one is name equal to get resources dot get string array r dot array dot name Now get the second string array email. Email equal to get resources dot get string array r dot array dot email. Okay. Now we can save all this information. We can save the image ID, contact name and email address in the form of an object of contact class. For that, create some variables int I equal to 0. Now start some for each loop. For string name equal to use the array name. Now we can add each of this information in the form of a contact class object. So create an object of contact class, contact equal to new contact. First we have to pass the img id. So img id of I, that is the first argument. Now the second one is name, that is already available on this string called name, and the last one is email, which is available on this string array, and use the position I. Okay, now we need to add each of these contact object to the array list. So contacts dot add and add each of these object. Now increment the value of I by 1, I plus plus. Okay, so now we save all the information in the form of a contact class object, and we put all the object inside the array list called contacts. And now we can initialize the adapter of the recycler view. So adapter equal to new contact adapter. First pass the array list. Here the array list is contacts. Now pass the activity context, main activity dot this. Now we can set the adapter for the recycler view. So recycler view dot set adapter and pass the adapter. Okay, now we can test the application. So run it. Okay, now the application available on this virtual device. So it display a recycler view. So each recycler view contain an image and 2 text views, and for each row there is a checkbox is available.